There it is. We'll take this upstairs to my Grace frame, pick out some thread, get it loaded to the machine, and we're gonna quilt. Alrighty, we are here in the room with my Grace machine. So the first thing I need to do is I need to load my backing. I am bringing my backing up, and then there is, it looks like a fish tank hose. It's used to secure this backing in place. Here is a tool that comes with your Grace machine, and it's a little roller, and it actually fits in the groove of where the tubing goes perfectly. So if you aren't using a little less backing than you should be, you could wrap this backing around. You can use magnets to hold it on, which I have done in the past, and then use this to place your tubing in the groove. And then this other end can help you release the tubing by grabbing and pulling up, or putting this little end in the end of your tubing where there's a hole and pulling up. So I want to show you something that's very important, and ignore the noise in the background because my grandchildren are here. I just happened to be standing right here, and I noticed that I can see the seam of my quilt backing, and it's on the wrong side. So I need to reload, and I am so glad that I noticed this before I started quilting. So the backing is on. Now we need to add the batting. Right, here is the batting. Now, batting has a wrong side and a right side. Does it matter if you put the wrong side facing up? Probably not. But since I know there's a wrong and a right side, I am going to put it the right way. Got my batting on. Next layer is my quilt. Put the top. I'm going to put it as close to the top as possible because I, again, am living on the edge with this quilt. At the last class that I took, I learned from a quilter who is very experienced. She bastes on the back at the start of the quilt, and then she bastes while she's quilting. So let me show you what I mean. So she bastes here, and none of the rest of us do that. But she said that it puts this in place, and it prevents you from, number one, going too far, and number two, making any mistakes within this area. So everything, not that you won't make any mistakes, but everything is secure where you are quilting. Now, I'm not going to do that for this because I'm going to straight line quilt this. So I don't really need to baste this. Now, when I come to my next pass, I'll baste because I'm going to be doing some special quilting in that area. The best way to get good at something is to practice it, and I am lacking in the wishbone category. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill this whole area, this whole border, with wishbone. just going to go around these little hexagons and make it look like it's pieced. I think that'll give me some good practice on just moving around things on the quilt top. It's not necessarily practicing a particular pattern, but I think it'll look cute and I think it will give me muscle control. Remember, this is for old people, when the personal computer first came out and you were supposed to play solitaire in order to work on your mouse skills? Well, I'm going to trace in order to work on my free motion skills. I'm pretty sure you can see the dust bunnies in there. All right, I struggle with my wishbones. And honestly, there is no better way to learn how to do your wishbones than while children are screaming. It'll be awesome.
Are you shooting?
Yes, and you all are screaming.
Sorry, it's Macy.
Really? My quilt top is complete. It's really complete. And you got to see me work through my stitching. Some of it I'm happy with, some of it not so much. But once I put the binding on and I wash it, my sins will be washed away because all of this fabric will up. And the things that I know that I did wrong and that I see immediately, I won't see them anymore, and neither will anybody else. That is the beauty of cotton fabric and washing after you've quilted your quilt. So let me pull the camera off the stand and I'll just give you a little close-up of what I've done, and you can see the final result. Okay, so I'm going to try and hold this as straight as I can. So right here you can see the straight line quilting, and any of the rows that had the T block on them, that's what I did. So let's go look at the back so you can see it even better. So here on the purple back you can see those straight lines. All right, so I started out with, let's go above that, wishbones. And they are very inconsistent because I need to practice them. So this was really a good opportunity to do that. The next row were the pieced hexagons, which weren't really pieced, but I went around each one of the hexagons. I haven't found one I missed yet. And then I just did a stipple in between to fill in the white space. Then I did my ribbon candy, and ribbon candy is another thing that I need to work on. Like right here. No, not there. There were some places where, now see here, where is it? Here, I had to stop and start because my thread broke or I ran out of bobbin or something. But, you know, I had moments of greatness and then it just all fell apart. Here I did a feather and I just used this top line as my spine. you know, that wasn't as bad as the ribbon candy or the Crazy 8s. This is my favorite. I love this paisley meander. That is my favorite. I tend to do a good job with that. That's probably the reason it's one of my favorites. Plus, the paisley is one of my favorite designs. So I could do a whole quilt in paisley and be perfectly happy. So here I went and did ribbon candy again. And then I did the straight lines again. And then I did the 8s again. Now here, I was going for a swirl meander and then also a swirl chain. And I need work on my swirls. Then here I just did the rounded like rainbow, and then in the center switched from going one way to the other for the half circle, and then back down to the straight lines. It's getting late and somebody's getting a little cranky. So I hope that you enjoyed watching my quilting. I really love using that Grace 16X and that frame. I did live on the edge as far as the size of the batting and the batting, but that's okay. Did I say the batting and the batting? The batting and the backing. But I think it's all going to come out perfectly. I am going to use, I don't know where I put it, the fabric that I chose that kind of, did it have clouds? I know it was a color similar to the background of this color, like a light version of this, and it was a swirl. So I'll put the batting on, and yeah, I had fun with this one. It was bigger than what I thought it was, and I've had, of course, several people in the family and friends are like, ooh, I like that. I am going to Ireland in September of 2025, and I would like to invite you all to go with me. I will put a link in the description below. We are going to see the beautiful scenery of Ireland, visit some venues where crafting is done, make some scones, do some shopping, and I am really looking forward to it, and I hope that you all will go on that adventure with me. I think that's it. Have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. So something I learned at the class that I went to is that